Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel. We're going to be breaking down a recent client purchase here in Southeast Queensland that was at a $500,000 price point. Now, I work with clients every week, every day of the week, and we're dealing with budgets as low as $300,000 and as high as $2 million here in Southeast Queensland or the Greater Brisbane market. We buy in Moreton Bay, Logan City, Brisbane City Council, Redlands City Council, and parts of Ipswich. So we cover roughly a 35-kilometre ring around Brisbane. And what I'm seeing on the ground is people struggling to get access to money, working with brokers, working with banks, trying to find the right property for them. So today we're going to be discussing a more limited budget, buying around the $500,000 price point. Now, if you were coming to work with me in the next 3 to 6 months and you were looking to buy a property here in Brisbane, I would generally be suggesting if you're going to look to buy a house on over 600 square meters of land, good location with good long-term growth potential, you'd likely need a budget of at least $550,000, if not $600,000 to $650,000 at this point in time. But if you're the type of client that's willing to roll up their sleeves, spend a bit of money on renovations, and we offer project management services for clients only, if you're looking for that type of project that you can add value to, then you can still get deals less than $600K, between that $500,000 to $600,000 mark, with great land size, with granny flat potential, with cosmetic renovation updates and upgrades that you can create equity in. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. And if you hang around towards the end of this video, I will be revealing the address of this property to you so you can see exactly where we bought this home. I think it's important to be transparent and share on the YouTube channel. We're not going to share all of our client deals, but each month to share with you a recent client purchase, the thinking behind it, how we went about helping this client secure the deal, and how we can help you find the right property to suit you to continue your investing journey, or if you're an owner-occupier, secure the right property here in the Brisbane market. So let's dive in and take a look at some of these photos. So you know the property is going to be a doozy when the opening shot from the real estate agency is an aerial shot of the home. If the opening shot's an aerial shot, you know there's typically something wrong with the house. What's going on inside? Is there water damage? Is there termites? Is the foundation ruined? What is going on with this property? But before we move on and take a look more at the home, let's take a look at this land. You can see there's a lot of trees here on this site. You can see the neighbour's home has solar panels, it's well presented, it's got a shade sail and a nice neat backyard. The neighbour across the road has a very clean front of their property. The neighbour south of this property looks clean too. So this property is a little bit dishevelled and run down. Overgrown trees, and again, not much usable yard space for a family at this point in time. So we have an arborist that we recommend here in Southeast Queensland and we use with our clients. And Joel is amazing. He does some great work cutting down trees. And that's one of the things I'd be looking to do with this property straight away. Clear the tree line away from the home. And that was one of the things we chatted about with Matt and Rachel when we were looking to buy this property. So here's a second shot. Again, you can see trees all up against the front of the bricks and right over this gutter line here. Now that's not something you want. The reason you want to get rid of the trees around that roof line is, one, to remove that termite risk. Termites love dying and dead timber and any water that sits on timber. And so if termites can burrow in around this space right in front of the home, they could get into the home as well, which may be the case with this property. Also, with the tree line, you don't want it over the gutters because that means the gutters could fill up. You could get backfill into the roof line if there's very heavy rain. So you generally want to keep the roof line clear around the property. And that's exactly what these clients did once we secured the purchase. I had a look at the property the other week and they've been making some great strides in removing the trees around the home. This is a rear shot. You can see some bamboo here on the right. Again, bamboo here on the left. A lot of clearing out to do, but with a bit of hard yakka. And if you're willing to roll up your sleeves as an owner-occupier or an investor in this case, there's some value that can be created. Another good shot of the backyard. Now, one of the things we liked a lot about this property was the granny flat potential. You can see all this space over here on the right-hand side. Now, if I go back to that first aerial shot, this is that green space here. And this property is perfect to add a granny flat down the track in the future because you can see you'd easily fit a 60 to 70 square meter granny flat here. It would have its own driveway, its own street frontage. And because this property is on a corner block, it's ideal for setting up with a granny flat. Generally, corner blocks are best suited to those granny flat or subdivision potentials because you have some nice wide street frontage. If you're going to do a rear-sided granny flat, make sure you've got that drivable side access in an ideal situation because you want it to have the look and feel of a proper subdivision. So this was perfect for these clients, and we got a cracking price for this property because of all the work that was required to be done. So this is a shot of the kitchen. It actually doesn't look terrible in these photos here, but in person it was a fair bit worse and a bit more run down. Definitely reasonable cabinetry, could be salvaged if you needed to, but it does need a new splashback, does need a range hood, could definitely do with an electrical upgrade. There's lots that could be done to this place to make it better. Even this wall here where the fridge is, if that could get blown out towards the side, you could open up to that living area. So this is a shot of that dining space out towards the back. Not a very large space, a smaller home, but great for you to get your foot in the door if you have a limited budget. This is that living area. You can see that there's some really good room here, quite a large space. Okay, the walls have been touched up in these real estate photos compared to what they look like in person, and definitely needed to rip up the carpets and have all new flooring throughout the home as well. You can also see some water damage here on that front door. That would definitely need replacing. So you need to take note of all these things as you're looking through the real estate photos or you're doing the physical walkthrough. Jot down every single item that you think needs work, and then you can also put a timeline. Is it an immediate thing? Is it a midterm thing? Or is it a long-term repair that's required on this property? A lot of these repairs were short to medium-term repairs, and we'll continue through with some photos and reveal some of those major issues that we found. So this is that reverse shot of the space, which shows that open plan or fairly open plan dining and living. And if you wanted to, you could turn this space into an island and have the fridge off in the corner, maybe block that walkway off to fit the fridge in the corner over there. And that could be really good use of this space to modernize the home and bring it into the 2020s. Now this is where the fun begins. You can see the bedrooms don't have any floor coverings. These kickboards here were eaten out. Now there was termite damage within this home, and fairly significant termite damage at that. Now, in this case, the client we were working with, Rachel and Matt, Rachel was a builder and she was willing to get her hands dirty, and these guys were willing to add value, and they had a limited budget. So buying a property on this block of over 700 square meters with the granny flat potential, with a home they could add value to and get their hands dirty and get their hands stuck in, reframe those areas that needed reframing, get stuck into the kitchen, get stuck into the bathrooms. This was a really great property. Although daunting for a lot of people, it wasn't too daunting for Rachel and Matt, and a great property for them to get their foot in the door. Again, you can see a lot of mold in this place, and that's because the gutters had filled up. Mold and water are going to attract the termites. That's why we had termites throughout the home. So the main thing is that you are aware of the variables. What are the things that we need to fix? And can we quantify a cost of those variables for outsourcing to other trades? And then if we're going to DIY it ourselves, get a value or get an idea of how much that's going to cost, and then make sure we're reducing the purchase price by a significant amount to account for all this work that we're going to need to do. There's nothing worse, and we saw it when we did the flip project, even though we got a great purchase price, there's nothing worse than doing all of this work and not creating enough value that you want through that renovation process. Now, in our case with the flip project up in Aspley, we had to resheet the entire home. That was another $20,000 down the drain. So make sure when you're buying a property that needs major renovation work that you're getting a significant discount, and that's what we're able to do here. Other recent sales in this suburb have gone for $650,000 to $720,000 for a very similar property. I know another 3-bed, 1-bath, low-set brick home that just sold for $710,000, very similar to what this property would be once it's updated. So my clients, and I will reveal to you very soon, paid a lot less than that for this home. Let's go through these final few photos. So again, a very rough 3rd bedroom, mold damage, termite damage, walls need to come down, need to be reframed, need to be resheeted, but work involved and value that can be created. The bathroom, again, very old, needs a full update, probably about a 20 grand job there. Could be livable in the meantime, could be serviceable, and this is the sacrifice you might need to be willing to make. I know a lot of people aren't willing to make that sacrifice to fast track their journey to create value and just want to buy a set and forget property. But if you want to buy a set and forget property in this type of price range, in this type of area, you do need $650,000 to $700,000. You're not going to be able to break in between that $500,000 to $600,000 mark. So it's about weighing that up, looking at your budget and looking whether you want to fast track through renovation or whether you want to buy a more set and forget home. And doing deal reviews like this will help you unpack that for yourself, whether this is the right deal for you or whether you're looking for deals like we've done in the past, which are far more set and forget. This is a view of the laundry. Again, it needs a new tub, but otherwise very serviceable. And this is a final aerial shot of the home, seeing where that granny flat space would be perfect for, and clearing some of these trees will make a real difference to the home and a real difference to the facade. So let's reveal to you the address of this home. So this was a 3-bed, 1-bath, no car, located in Hillcrest, Queensland 4118, and the address is 9 Sweet Gum Street. Now I know you detectives out there here on YouTube would have been looking up using Google Lens, trying to find the photos anyway, so I'm more than happy to share with you the address because it's about being real, sharing with you the actual locations we've been helping clients, sharing with you how we were able to negotiate this property right down on price. So let's unpack the numbers and unpack how this deal is progressing for our clients. So we bought this property in Hillcrest. Originally, the owners were asking for $570,000. Now, we knew the property had termites, it had water damage, it needed major renovations, and there was a lull in the market late last year when we bought this property. We had the opportunity to get in for a price that my clients were happy with, and secure a deal where they could add significant value. Now for Rachel and Matt, we'd already discussed that they were willing to take on a project. Given their building experience and Rachel being a tradie, they were willing to take on a project for their family to create a better future for themselves. And this property for me is an absolute cracker. The fact that you can build a granny flat, the fact that they can significantly update the home and create value and likely get a valuation now around the $700,000 mark is amazing. So we were able to secure this property for $500,000. Looking now, and this property was purchased only in the last few months, looking now between a $500,000 home and a $700,000 home that's literally sold just across the street and also is a 3-bedder. So you need to be aware of the risk factors when you're buying a property like this, but you also need to be aware that there is significant uplift. So more risk equals more reward. And for me, you get more reward by holding that property over a long period of time. You add value in the short to mid term to fast track the journey, but then the real value creation is made over a longer period of time by holding that asset and getting the compound growth. Now, this is the type of property I would absolutely be buying for myself. Yes, there's a bit of work involved and I probably wouldn't be getting my hands dirty anymore on a project like this. I'll be able to cash flow that because we have the funds available. But if you're cash strapped and you're a young couple or a young family and you're willing to get your hands dirty and do some DIY, this could be a great project. Or if you're an investor or an owner-occupier who wants to use our project management services. And yes, there's going to be an additional 20% cost on top of the trades, but the deal is done for you, the renovations are done for you, and the numbers still stack up. In this case, if you spent around $70,000 to $100,000 on the renovations here, you would get an increase of double. We're looking for a 2x return. So you'd be all in around $600,000 after spending about $100,000, and the market value at the moment is around $700,000. So looking to create value through renovation is a great way to fast track your journey. It's not for everyone. So if you want to sit down and have a chat with myself, whether you're looking for your own home or an investment property here in the Greater Brisbane market, head over to purposeproperty.com.au to book in a free strategy session with myself. We'll sit down and have a chat for half an hour. We'll talk about the right property for you, our process and how we can help you secure that property, and leave some time for some questions at the end. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think of this recent deal? $500K for a 700 square meter block in Hillcrest, 3-bed, 1-bath, obviously a lot of work involved, but I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. I really enjoy breaking down these deals for you on the YouTube channel to give you a realistic perspective of what you can buy here in Southeast Queensland. Whether you're looking for an investment property or whether you're looking for an owner-occupied residence, we buy as low as $300,000 all the way up to $2 million here in the Greater Brisbane market. So if you want to see some other recent deals, make sure you click this playlist over here and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.